Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing fantastically well. So as traders, we have to ride the good and the bad, and so far this year it's been actually very positive. I've actually made some real good gains, and always in the back of my mind it's kind of thinking, when's it going to go wrong, when's it all going to go bad? And this week it did actually go wrong in not a massively big way, but a fairly big way. And I'll go through some of the dashboards and talk through what actually went wrong and how I actually managed to recover from it. So what I discussed last week in the videos is about setting up the copy trader between some of the accounts, and that was actually working very well. Throughout the week I was actually making good gains until I got to a point where I started to do things a little bit differently. Started to trade some of the pairs I wouldn't normally trade and getting in those, and it didn't work out for me at all. And I was also in gold, and I thought, okay, I'll hedge this one out, let it ride to the following day. I've still got enough in the actual drawdowns to be able to cover this off and work out the plan for gold the following day and actually make some good profits on it. Now, as it stood, I'd actually made good actual profits that day. I was up about 2%. So overall on the account for the phase 2 for Blue Guardian, I was nearly up to 3%. I had some good trades in place. If I'd hit targets, I would have actually been fine, and I've actually moved past quite easily. But as the day went on, it was getting not very good, and kind of the doubt creeps in. But I thought, no, I'm gonna let it run. Reality is I should have cut my losses there and then and actually just taken the medicine and got away with it. And it got to about sort of 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I thought, oh no, I will actually close these trades out and just be done with it. So pulled up my phone. Wouldn't normally have MetaTrader on the phone, but because I was away last week, I was actually trading from that one, so it was still on there, and closed out those trades on my Blue Guardian account. So I was actually down on that day just over 1%. Not fantastic, but could have been a lot worse. Now, unfortunately, the copy trader account only works when you actually have the PC up and running and you've got both the MetaTrader platforms running. So although if I'd closed it up on the phone, that would have actually worked and closed out from my FTMO account as well. Now, reality was I wasn't going to get out of bed late at night, walk all the way downstairs to my other phone or log in and actually close them off. So no, I'll let it run. The daily drawdown's a little bit wider on FTMO, so okay, I'll get away with it. Oh no. Unfortunately, the trades I was in, although there was some stop losses in place, they weren't calculated correctly, and the prices went against me overnight. And when I woke up in the morning, I was actually at a 4.5% deficit. And actually, as that worked out, I had to close all those trades straight away. And because of that, and I'd gone over the daily rollover from the night before, I wasn't even able to trade. Now, fortunately, on the Blue Guardian, because I'd closed out before they rolled over, I still had my daily reset of the drawdown maximum 4%. I can start working that one and get out of the bad position I was in. So let's take a quick look at my dashboards through Blue Guardian and FTMO and see where the disasters crept in. Okay, so we can see here on the Blue Guardian account where I was actually beginning of last week. I was only 0.5% of profit. Over the first couple of days, managed to get to a really good position before I actually managed to go and throw it all away and recover to get into a not bad position by the end of the week. So as you can see, we're actually still up 2%. So on the week, managed to still gain 1.5%. If we look at the daily summary here, we can see as you have the week panned out, I had this disastrous day of effectively down 1%. Managed to recover through that one. I had a couple of good days after that one, and also closed out on the Friday as well with a very good strong day. So Blue Guardian was still in a very good position. We are only 2% away from hitting the phase 2 challenge target. So at that point, then we'll get funded. The plan will be for next week, more focus on just the Blue Guardian and not so much the FTMO, and get that 2%, get it over the line and get funded. Now let's have a quick look at the FTMO account, because that's actually in a much worse state. So we can see on the equity curve for FTMO, actually a very, very good week overall. The first few days were actually still ticking away. It was got up to nearly 7%, but obviously this one had a few running trades in a negative. If we scroll down to actually look at the daily side of it, and we can see, yes, we started having a very good beginning of the week. We've put on some good profits, and then we'll hit that 4.5% of closure of losses. The following day, again, wasn't great, but finished the week with a 1% target on the Friday to overall recover. So currently we are 3.7% on the way towards FTMO. Now with that 3.7%, it was actually worse off than it was after week one. Week one I was at 4.5%, over 5% on week 2. So again, I was getting close to passing, but doing those two challenge accounts at the same time, you do have to get a bit distracted by where one is working the other. Even though I've got a copy trader in place, I was still more focusing on really the Blue Guardian and not worrying what FTMO is going to do. So again, take the focus away next week, really just reset and come back stronger to get at least one of these over the next phases. Now, these aren't the only two prop firms I'm working with. I'm also with Overview Funding Plus, and if you're aware of them, it's a direct funding prop firm. But unfortunately, they have a particular rule. It's called their trader performance, where you have to be less than 25%. Now, I've been running this one for a while, and because of some days of actually good profits, you can't actually get your trader performance rule down until you've actually got a better overall equity account. So I've been running this one for a couple of months now, and I'm getting close to finishing the next month, and I've now gone through a drawdown phase, got back into positive, and we can see for this one, that's the TP, which is the main criteria for getting paid and getting actually money from them, is coming down to close to that 25%. So on the dashboard here, we can see that the growth is actually now at 1.1%. We're actually in a good profit. It's fairly successful at the actual trading. All I'm trying to do is get daily wins and not actually get carried away. And the biggest challenge here is actually the trader value rule, is where you need to be below 25%. I'm now down to 55%, and to get to a point where I can actually get a payout, I effectively need to make another 1.5% on the account and be able to get that trade out. Now, how that's calculated is actually based on the biggest, most profitable day. And my most profitable day for this particular prop firm actually went up to $607. So I need to make 4 times 607 to be at 25%. It is an absolutely crazy rule. I don't like it at all. It doesn't really show value as a trader. All it shows is you can consistently make small daily gains to actually get to a payout. Now, I am keen to really get to that payout phase to actually get the money back from the challenger paid out, and then work towards other accounts to get a daily income from this one as well. It's not a bad prop firm, but again, it's not where I want to be long term. That's where I want to be on FTMO, Blue Guardian, and other prop firms there to get much better payouts at the 80% plus mark. I also have one other account, which is a live funded account with IG, just some of my personal funds in there. That for me is actually a slightly different one of trading, because all I'm doing here is trying to make very small gains to then take those profits out of that account and put it into a shares ISA and buy more stocks and shares. So essentially this is a hedging account. So if price is going down on some of the stocks, I can either buy back in at a better value or short the FTSE if prices are dropping, and therefore not be so affected on my actual shares account. As we can see from this one as well, it's making steady gains, nothing dramatic. It's literally just ticking away each day, trying to get some of the profits. You're talking sort of a few pounds per trade, nothing fantastic. And over the past week, it's been mainly British pound I've been trading. But again, it is small gains to get where we need to be. So at the end of the month, I'll reset this account back down to £3,500, take that money out, buy some stocks, buy some shares, or do whatever with it. But again, get that bigger portfolio growing to get dividends and long-term financial growth and gains in the long term. So I've actually got a really big week ahead. I'm really looking forward to the trading. I've been looking at some different trading strategies, and I just might try those out on some of the accounts, just literally just looking at getting 0.5% gains on the trades. So if we look at Blue Guardian, I only need to get 2% more. That's only literally 4 trades, and I could probably do it in 1 day, in 2 days. And at that point, once funded, I can then focus more on FTMO and get that one through as well. So really excited by the trading. Again, not making big profits, not getting the payouts as I want to right now, but this is a whole journey for the entire year. I never expected to pass all the accounts in the first 2 weeks and therefore be funded and get payouts within 6 weeks from starting of the year. It's a long-term process to get these accounts, to get the payouts, use those payouts wisely, and have a great, fantastic trading year. So hopefully some of these lessons can help some of you guys out there to prove, one, I'm not the best trader. I do make a lot of mistakes, and I'm open about mistakes. I'm willing to share them. And when they're good, the profits will come in. And if I can cut those bad mistakes out, then we are going to have a much better long-term future. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll catch you again soon. Cheers.